Hey guys, it's Jess and welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel today. What we're going to be talking about in this video is the Apple Watch. If you don't keep up with my vlogs, you may not know, I got an Apple Watch about 2 months ago. I went to Best Buy and I got an Apple Watch, and that was my big birthday present. So I got this watch, and one of the things I love doing on this channel is giving my honest opinion of products, because I think sometimes on the internet you just never know. I am going to be telling you my favorite things, my least favorite things, whether or not I recommend it. Also, friendly reminder, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I would love it if you'd leave a thumbs up. So this is my Apple Watch. I have the Series 3 one without LTE. There's a version of the Series 3 where it can go without your cell phone being really close to you, which is not what I have, but this lets me go pretty far. But then there's, with that one you have to have a data plan. You can tell I know a lot about technology. But hey, my limited knowledge will give the rest of you with limited knowledge a little bit more. The first thing that I think is really a pro about this in general is it is literally a watch. I think that our generation really underestimates how handy it is to have a watch and how nice it is to be able to look at the time without checking my phone, pulling it out of my bag or my pocket. A huge thing that really helps me is the notifications. Basically any notification you get on your phone, whether it be an alarm, a text, a tweet notification, like it all comes through. What else comes through? If your apps have little reminders, it usually sends those through if they're compatible. A lot of apps are. Instagram likes, like basically anything comes across. And I think what's super cool about this is instead of like going to check your phone every time it buzzes just to see is like, oh, that's not important, I just look at my watch and I'm like, oh, whatever. Or I'm like, oh hey, my mom's calling me, it's probably important, I should answer that. It's just really nice to always have those notifications right here without having to take out your phone or like look rude. I don't know if it's any less rude to stare at your watch when you're with someone, but it just feels less, I don't know, it just feels a little more polite. If you have seen me with this watch in real life, you would know my favorite feature about this is the reminders. And on an iPhone, if you have an iPhone, I just realized my phone's not here, there's a reminders app, and I went through a phase of using it and then I stopped using it. I use reminders every day. So what I do, this watch works with Siri a lot of times, or that's what I do, and so you can just say, hey Siri, remind me. And it didn't activate because I said it weird. So if you say like, hey Siri, remind me about this at this time, then at the time you tell it, it's gonna pop up with that little notification. And for me, I cannot tell you how helpful it is. I say something as simple as, remind me to call this person, remind me to do this homework. Like, I remind myself about everything. If I'm really stressed out, I remind myself to eat, because your girl's gotta eat, and sometimes life gets crazy. With this watch, you can basically use it as a remote control for your camera on your iPhone, so you can set your iPhone up on one side of the room and use it, and I know it works really well because I've done it once, but I just don't think to do it very much. But I think that that is super convenient and fun if you're trying to take a family pic, a pic with the gals, you know. Another feature about this that I think is worth being noted is that it really does have a good battery life. You do have to charge it. If you did not know, this watch you have to charge. It kind of makes sense, but I think the battery life for me, I could make it last 2 days. I charge it every night, but like it takes like no time to charge. Usually when I come home, it's at about 70% after I've used it all day at school. And so a lot of times what I'll do is when I'm in the shower, I just put it on the charger, because like I don't need to know anything when I'm in the shower. Like, it's fine. I wonder, question, if you have an Apple Watch, do you wear yours in the shower? Because that just to me feels like too much. It's just, I wasn't gonna do that. Another really positive thing I've found about it is answering the phone with it. I know some people don't really feel comfortable answering the phone and talking like this, but a lot of times when I answer it, I put it on speaker, I hold it kind of like up here, and I know just sometimes it's just more convenient. I know it's kind of weird to do that in public, but like if I'm in my house and maybe I'm like home alone for whatever reason and someone's calling me, I would much rather answer it on my wrist than get up to get my phone. Is that lazy? Maybe the whole thing about this is it helps me be lazy. Not really. There's some other good things. But yeah, I think that answering the phone on it comes in handy a lot when I don't want to, like, because that's the thing. Half the time my phone is charging, so being able to just do this is super cool to talk on it, and it's actually got pretty good sound quality. It's easy to switch the band out on it, which I think is key. This is the band that came with it. It's pink because I got like the gold version. I think this is not cute. That's, I mean, to each their own. You might like this. I think it looks cute sometimes, but I don't think it's very comfortable. I know a lot of people who buy more bands on Amazon, so if you are like me and you think these are kind of boring and not worth all the money you spend for the watch, there's plenty of options and they're easy to switch out. Just one general point is it is so convenient to have this. To have my notifications, to be able to check my maps, to check the weather. Like, it is a a phone on your wrist, which you don't think you want until you have, and then you have it and you're like, heck yeah, this is cool. It also acts as a remote for your music. So what'll happen is I might be like getting ready in the morning, putting on my makeup, playing some Spotify, and then we get to a song I like, and I'm like, oh yeah, so I touch my watch and it like automatically pops up as a remote, so I start turning up the volume. Or next song happens, I'm like, I don't like this, and I skip. And another thing about this watch, at least the Series 3, is that it's waterproof, and I don't necessarily, like I mentioned, I don't shower with it on, I really don't swim with it on. If you get water in it, there's this cool thing you do and it like spits the water out. That sounds like crazy, but like you should watch someone's techier video explaining it. But yeah, it is waterproof and you can get the water out of it, but I don't really do that. But hey, when you're washing your hands, I'm not scared to get it wet, which is, I think, the good part of it. It's like, you can call 911 with this by like holding down one of the buttons. I think if you hold this button down for like a certain number of seconds, it just starts dialing 911 automatically. And honestly, that's kind of nice. Like, if for whatever reason I did feel threatened and I was in a situation like that, I do think being able to just call them would be nice, because then someone might not even like, it's just, you could be kind of sneaky about it, like, oh, I'm at this place, something bad said. Okay, we get it, I'm not a spy, but like, you get what I'm saying. Honestly, I will say, probably my favorite thing about this watch is it's just super fun. I go around telling my friends I'm a spy, I'm a dweeb, we've established this, but it's got some fun features, but overall, like, it's not a necessity, but it's very, very nice to have. I would call this a combination of a Fitbit and a phone. It's a better Fitbit. Like, there's nothing about it. Like, people ask me, I think some people expect it to do something magical and like unheard of. Like, it's a phone and a watch in one. Oh, there's Pinterest. But like, that's what you're buying. It's pretty nice though. And another thing, I think my favorite thing this thing does, you can press one button and it will make your phone start beeping. So then if you like, it's like the Find My iPhone but on your watch, and that is so convenient, especially like, because I'm not gonna lie, my phone gets lost within my clothes and my bed and everything very often, so it's always nice to just find it real quick. And you can go on Instagram on this, which I think is so cool. I know a lot of people have trouble with that, but if you do, all you gotta do is log out on your iPhone, re-log in again, and it should work, because it has for me and it has for some other people. But yeah, that to me, just being able to look at Instagram is a perk. Overall, I think it has made things better for me, but it's pricey. And so if you don't think, like, I wear this watch every single day, so I think it's like kind of okay, and I use it constantly, but I do think not everyone needs it. A lot of times when people would ask me about it, they were like, I feel like people like are waiting when they're hearing about Apple Watches. Like, I feel like they think there's gonna be something magical about them, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, like, it's a cool watch, it's got some fancy stuff, it can find my iPhone, it can track my heart rate, ooh, but like, at the end of the day, like, it's like a phone, but not. Like, it's like a phone, but less cool, but still cool. Does that make any sense? It's just like, there's nothing like that I can think of that's like super original and unheard of. Like, a lot of the features you'll find from researching it is it's an Apple product with some similar Apple features. I can check my weather, check my maps, but I mean, there's nothing like crazy unheard of on it. But I don't think that makes it a bad thing. It's just something to keep in mind. Something I mentioned earlier, but I'm still gonna mention again. I don't think these bands are cute. I think what they're going for though is I think they're doing something that is gonna be functional and something kind of sporty. Like, if I worked out more, I would want to use this band, but as someone who just wears it like to school, I want to be comfortable and I want it to match more of my outfits. I just think they could have done better, but I think maybe what they're going for is minimalism, and I'm just not for this one. I don't know. It's just this band, it doesn't do it for me. This is a first world complaint, but like, I can't tweet off of this, and that makes me so unhappy. Like, I can text off of it, I can ask Siri to tell me the weather, I can remind myself to take out my laundry when I get home, but like, I can't tweet. It's fine. It's not a huge deal, but it does kind of bother me that there's not a Twitter app on it. I think there used to be, but right now I don't believe Twitter is compatible with the Apple Watch. I am so confused on whether or not it's waterproof. Like, you can make the water come out, but I'm just always so worried that if I get it wet too much, it's going to stop being waterproof. I need to like link what I was reading about. I'm gonna have to go and look that up again. But I was reading something, it was just like, yeah, if it's possible, I can't articulate. I'll have to link the article, but basically, I know it's waterproof. It's just like with with like the newer iPhones, you can get them, like drop them in water and they'll be fine. But like, I don't know, waterproof technology is very sketch to me, so. I take pretty good care of my technology. The only time stuff breaks is when it's like a fluke. But my Apple Watch already has a very tiny scratch on it, and that's like not supposed to happen, and I didn't buy Apple Care, which was probably a mistake on my part, but like nothing I buy ever breaks until this year. It's fine. But I'm like, it's not noticeable enough. Actually, at first I thought it was dust, but I do think it's pretty frustrating that I've had it for 2 months and there's already a small scratch on it, because it's not that that is a huge deal like cosmetic wise, like it doesn't bother me, but it does bother me that I feel like I'm at risk to continue breaking it, and I'm not like I don't know. So I guess it's just something you gotta be really careful with, because it can scratch. Something I think some people might find kind of annoying. I know when I told my parents about this, they were like, wait, what? You do have to charge your watch. And I think to some people that's kind of a downside. I know some people said they didn't like the charger, like that, the way they thought it fell off the charger. I haven't had that problem at all. Something I know that bothers a lot of people about this watch is that a lot of times, if you have been sitting for a while, it will tell you to stand up to meet your stand goal, because this is, like I mentioned, it's like a Fitbit. It's got a bunch of like exercise things, and so you're trying to stand for a certain number of hours per day depending on what goal you set. And so I know I have a class each day that I sit the entire time, and without fail, that's like the same time every other day when my watch is like, time to stand up now. And also there's an app called like Breathe that's trying to get you to kind of like breathe. It makes me think of those meditation apps, but I know a lot of people find that kind of annoying. I guess the other big con is just, it's like in no way necessary, but if it's something you want, then I think it's cool. I think it's something to definitely think about before buying. But for me, I think for me the pros have outweighed the cons. So one thing that bothers me with texting, your 3 options, you can do voice text and it'll like kind of guess what you're saying like that, and then you can do a thing where you can like draw the letters, or you can pick some of their pre-done letters, or you can pick emojis. By pre-done letters, I mean they have like pre-written text. You can just select one, which I actually do that a lot when I'm in a hurry and someone's asking me a question. I'll be like, yes or no. So that's nice. But you can't do voice memo text messages on this, which bothers me so much, because I think that makes so much sense. Like, I don't know if y'all use voice memo text as much. Is that the correct term? I don't know. Voice text. I love sending recording text because I think it's easier than typing and it's more personal. And when I'm in a hurry, I would much rather like send someone a 20-second text explaining it than to send like a 5-word I don't know. But you can't do that on this watch, which confuses me because that seems like the most practical thing you could do. But it's not a deal breaker. For me, I would say the pros outweigh the cons. I would totally recommend it, and I'm definitely going to be wearing mine for as long as it lasts. I like it a lot. If you have any more questions about this watch, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. If I know, I'll answer them, and if I don't, I'll try and defer you to something that might be able to help online. We'll see if we can figure it out. If you guys are thinking about buying an Apple Watch, let me know. I think they're super fun. If this helped you at all, please be sure to leave a thumbs up, and I would love for you to subscribe for more weekly content, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!